What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and it's been a little while, but I decided to finally watch this Charlie's Angels movie, which I guess it's kind of a soft reboot to the original, well, yeah, the TV show also, but I was talking about the 2000s movie, early 2000s. This time it's directed by Elizabeth Banks, and we get a new group of trio to be the Angels. You get Kristen Stewart, Ella Balinski, and Naomi Scott. The three of them have to, well, what else? They have to go up against this bad guy, more so figure out if there's a mole in their organization or not, stop that person, save the world, blah, 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 blah. Look, I know that at the time when this movie came out, there was a lot of controversy as far as if you give this movie a bad review, then you're sexist. You don't like women. And Elizabeth Banks, in particular, was very much against anybody that gave a bad review for this because it's like, well, why can't we have 5 reboots of Charlie's Angels? You had the original 70s show, and then you had the 2000s movie. Then they even tried to reboot a TV show back around 2009-ish, and it got canceled after like 3 episodes. So this is like the 3rd or 4th time that they've tried to bring this property back. I don't know why they feel like Charlie's Angels is such an important thing that needs to be front and center. Maybe it's because of the whole women empowerment movement, which, hey, I'm all for. But in a movie like this, especially, this is why I think it doesn't work. It's trying too hard. In my opinion, it's trying too hard to be all about this girl power thing, to be all, hey, men suck. Almost every male character in this movie, they either get killed off easily, they're incompetent, or they're evil. And it's only the women who are the strongest, the smartest, and the most capable. And look, like I said, there are current movies today that do have female leads, that are female-centric, that I think it works because it feels natural, because the stories are told well, because you can get behind the characters just on their own merits. This movie, there's not a whole lot of substance to it. It exists because it wants to be pro-women so goddamn bad. I know I'm going to get some hate. I know people are going to hear this portion of the review and say, wow, you're being really biased. I'm telling you, I didn't watch this movie to hate it. I enjoy, for the most part, those early 2000s Charlie's Angels movies. They're fun. These movies, I didn't have fun with it. I didn't care about these girls like I did the other ones. Kristen Stewart, I will say this, is probably the best out of all of them. And I know some people who only have seen her in Twilight laugh at a sentence like that. But honestly, either she's gotten better as an actress, or those movies didn't reflect how good of an actress she really is. Kristen Stewart, I think, she has that tomboy act. She has that, I don't know if her character's a lesbian, but she has that tough girl sense about her. And she does pull it off. She does. She has those moments, those missions where she has to dress up and be a girly girl, and then she can switch, and her badassery comes out. And for whatever reason, she's either more comfortable in front of the camera, or maybe this is more of her true self. Probably the best character in this movie. Ella Balinski, I'm not familiar with this actress. I'm not going to say she was bad or anything, but honestly, she was just there. Every time I saw her on screen, the only thing that really stood out was how goddamn tall she was, especially compared to everyone else. Naomi Scott, who she's been everywhere as of late. She was in that Power Rangers reboot. She was in that live-action Aladdin movie. The less we say about that, the better. And then you have this movie where she sort of gets roped into this organization. She is connected to the bad guy in a sense, so she's kind of under witness protection, being protected by the Angels, and slowly gets recruited to become their third member. again, she's a fine actress. She does what she has to do, but I wasn't engaged. Honestly, I wasn't engaged by these characters. I wasn't engaged by their backstories. I wasn't engaged by their interactions with each other. The action, for the most part, wasn't shot all that well. None of the action really stood out to me as being all that impressive. Even there was a car chase scene that just, it felt so generic, so typical, so just not impressive. Not anything that I've never seen before. Elizabeth Banks, I know that this is maybe her second movie that she's directed. She also directed, what was it, Pitch Perfect 2. I don't know. There's a lack of energy. There's a lack of caring that I felt throughout this whole film. They did try to throw in some twists and turns. Like, for example, there are 3 Bosleys in this movie. Patrick Stewart is the first one that we see. He retires at some point. So then you bring in Jimon Hansu, who, they do him dirty, man. I'm not going to get into it. You know what happens with him, but it's like, what was the point of that? Just to bring him in, just to have a black character? Because that was a waste. Honestly, this guy gets wasted in a lot of movies that I see. And then Elizabeth Banks plays the 3rd Bosley, because you sort of figure out that Bosley is just a title. It's not really a name. It's a title that you get promoted to. I guess that idea was somewhat interesting, but I don't know. If that's the most interesting thing about your movie, then I think we have some problems here. There is some callbacks. There is some references, connections to the 70s show and the 2000s movie. I guess I somewhat appreciated that. But I'm grasping at straws. I'm not trying to rant and rave. I'm not trying to say that there wasn't any good qualities at all about this movie. But I did lose interest halfway through. I did become bored. I stopped caring about the villain plot. I stopped caring about, there's a big twist on who the real villain is, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I didn't care. I wasn't invested. I know they tried to build up a new franchise. I know the after credit scenes especially has all these cameos by all of these female athletes and stars, and it rang hollow. It didn't do much more for me. Honestly, if I were to rate this, I'm going to be super, super generous and honest, because it is an okay time waster, especially if you're watching it at home and you're bored and you need something just to put on in the background. A Netflix and chill.
Oh, yeah.
So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Charlie's Angels 2019. Do you like it? Do you think it didn't get a fair shake? Do you think I'm being too harsh on it? Is it underappreciated? Or do you agree that it's just meh? Like, comment, subscribe. Later!